Hi, I'm Dr. Mike Roussel, and in this installment of Ask Dr. Mike, we're going to look at if it's possible for a breastfeeding mom to also lose weight at the same time. So today's reader question comes from Jill from Facebook, and Jill asks, I feel like it's not possible to lose weight as a nursing mom because I'm afraid of losing my milk supply. So she's wondering, what can she do? So this is a real good and common concern about new mothers who are breastfeeding. So you want to be able to produce enough milk that you can feed and nourish your baby, but you also want to jumpstart the weight loss process so you can lose any excess weight that you gained during the pregnancy. So here's the thing about weight loss. So weight loss is really about, at its most basic level, the calorie deficit. So it's about maximizing this calories in, calories out equation, right? And you actually, as a breastfeeding mom, have a really good advantage that most other people don't. And that's that breastfeeding burns actually a lot of calories. So back to Jill's question, when she's afraid of losing her milk supply, so she's afraid of restricting her calories too much, which is a good and valid concern, because if you restrict your calories too much, you're not going to have everything you need to both fuel yourself and also your baby. So I'm recommending against focusing too much on calorie restriction. Instead, focus on getting enough nutrient-dense foods, right? So calories in versus calories out there are two parts to that equation, right? The calories in part, we don't want to reduce those calories in too much. So what we'll do instead is maximize the calories out. So we can do that two different ways. The first way is through exercise. Now, there's not a whole lot of research looking at the effects of exercise on women who are breastfeeding, but what we do know is that exercise doesn't seem to impact your milk supply at all, and there's some research to suggest that it might actually improve and increase it. So what exercise is then going to allow us to do is burn more calories. So it's going to bump up your calorie burning, which will put you in a calorie deficit without having to reduce your calories so much. So the other way that you can burn calories is through breastfeeding itself. Now, researchers estimate that you can actually burn anywhere between 200 and 500 calories per day. So that's a significant amount of calorie burning. If you think about running a mile, you can estimate maybe you burn 100 calories. So this would be the equivalent of running 2 to 5 extra miles a day. So that's a lot of extra calorie burning, okay? So then if we look at an equation, we did here, right here, if you look at I wanted to show you kind of a math example of how this works. So if we say, use an example of a 150-pound woman, right? And multiply by 10, and that gives about 1,500 calories. So that's about the basal metabolic rate of a woman that size. So that would be how many calories you need just to basically exist, not including any of your daily activity. So we're adding exercise to the equation. So assuming, saying, exercising 3, maybe 4 times a week, so really a moderately active life, we take this energy factor of 1.3 to 1.4, we multiply that by 1,500. And what you get is between 1,950 and 2,100 calories. So that's how much you would need to eat to maintain your weight in this situation, not counting these calories. So traditionally, if we're looking at weight loss, what we would do is we take this equation, or these numbers, say 2,100 calories, or 2,000, split the difference, say 2,000 calories, and then we subtract anywhere between 200 and 500 calories to create a calorie deficit to elicit weight loss. Well, in this situation, because of the calorie needs of breastfeeding, we already have a 200 to 500 calorie per day deficit. So instead of focusing on dieting and restricting your calories, instead focus on adding exercise, right, 3 to 4 times a week, and then you'll automatically get your natural calorie deficit from your breastfeeding. And that's going to allow you to lose weight without having to worry about compromising your milk supply or the nutrition to the baby. Okay, so you can actually use these equations. I use just the example of 150 pounds, but you can plug in whatever your body weight is there to estimate your basal metabolic rate and get about how many calories per day you need. But the key is we're going to focus on burning more calories instead of taking in less calories. So that's through exercise and then through the breastfeeding that you're already doing. Okay, so Jill, hopefully that answers your question. That's going to wrap it up for this issue of Ask Dr. Mike. Post as many questions and comments as you can below the video. I'd love to hear from you. I'll respond to every one of them. And make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. All right, that's going to wrap it up. Have a great day.